Hello, everyone. My name is Hurry Tuwalde. I lead up sales and partnerships here at Staffing OS. Something to keep note that this video was filmed with Marcel back in the summertime, and at that point, we went under our previous name, Staff Up App. So when you hear Staff Up App, there we are referring to Staffing OS. I really wanted to make sure that we got this information out to our networks, and so you can see how MJ Associates, Marcel and his team can really help staffing firms and how they can help increase your revenue. They're a great partner to work with, and I look forward and hopefully you get some great information out of us. Have a wonderful day and enjoy the video. Why we're here today is to learn more about MJ Associates, and I'm speaking with Marcel Abandonado, who is the owner of MJ. Thank you for being here, Marcel.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so today I know our plan is really to talk about MJ Associates, the WOTC credit, and some other tidbits of information. So I really want to just kick it off. Marcel, so really tell me a little bit more about MJ Associates. What do you guys do?
Absolutely. Thank you. So MJ and Associates, we're a contingency-based tax credit processing firm. We've been in business for over 22 years now, and we specialize in the staffing industry. So we help businesses capture tax credits through programs like the Work Opportunity Tax Credit, the Empowerment Zone Employment Credit, and various state tax credits. So we help companies maximize their bottom line and increase their profits through government tax incentives.
Okay, great. Uh, I guess now I have to ask this question. What is WOTC?
So WOTC, they call it WOTC for WOTC, which stands for the Work Opportunity Tax Credit. And this is a program that's been around for nearly 30 years. The government created this program to create new jobs and to try to stimulate the economy. So it's a tax incentive that's available to any business, any corporation in the United States that hires individuals from certain target groups. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to find individuals that are facing barriers with gaining employment. Maybe they have a felony background. Maybe they're
Mm,
military veterans that are transitioning into the workforce. And I know we'll go over the categories in a moment, but basically it's a tax credit that's available to any business in the United States that hire individuals from certain target groups.
okay. And why should staffing firms specifically care about it?
It's an easy way to increase the bottom line. So I know staffing firms, they're out there and it's very competitive out there. They're taking a look at pricing. They're trying to watch their bottom line. So the tax credits are substantial. The tax credits could range anywhere from $2,400 up to $9,600 per qualified employee. So you can imagine in staffing, there's high turnover, there's high volume of hiring going on throughout the year. So as companies hires hundreds of employees, if not thousands of employees throughout the year, it's a lot of money that's goes straight to the bottom line. So it makes
Hmm.
companies a little bit more profitable, maybe gives them some options on how to utilize that money, how to price their business. So it's very important for staffing companies because it's going to make them more profitable. And at the end of the day, it's just increasing their bottom line.
Uh, okay, that seems like a significant savings when you put it that way. How easy is it for agencies to start claiming these credits?
So the program is really simple. So what we've done over the last 27 years is develop a program to make the process very efficient. We have a WOTC screening form that all their new hires will complete during the onboarding process. We screen to determine if they qualify for any of the categories. The employees will complete the forms online, they sign the forms electronically, and then those forms will flow directly into our database. We have a team of processors that will review and screen these applications, and then we also collect the documents to verify eligibility. So
Mm,
when we file the application with Department of Labor, it's much more than just submitting a couple forms. We do have to provide proof that the employee qualifies for these tax credits. So we have a team that does the due diligence. They contact the state agencies to collect documents that verifies that the employees qualify, and then we do complete submissions of all these applications to Department of Labor. So it's really simple for a staffing firm to start up this program. If
mhm.
they decide to use a tax credit processing firm like ours, we would include a form that goes into their onboarding application. The new hires complete that, and then we take care of the rest. We'll screen and identify which employees qualify. We'll collect the documents to verify eligibility, file the applications with Department of Labor, do all the tax credit calculations, and at the end of the year, we give them the tax forms to claim those tax credits. So we provide full service from start to finish, so that way it's one less thing that a staffing firm needs to worry about. We take care of the entire process.
So normally a staffing firm would have somebody internally that would be trying to handle all this information and do all this work on the background, but you take that all off of their plate and you do it all internally.
Exactly. We take all that off their plate and we do it all internally within our company. So that way the staffing firm could focus on growing their business. We know that they're
Hmm.
dealing with hiring, they're working with their clients, they've got workers' comp issues. This allows them to focus on growing their business, and it's just one less program that they need to worry about by outsourcing a program like this out to us.
Oh, oh, that's great. That's great. I think, oh, there's definitely a lot of staffing agencies that can take advantage of it. But I guess are there any, because even when I'm thinking about it, are there any misconceptions about WOTC, or is there any missed opportunities that you see out there in the market?
There is. So we've been doing this for over 20 years, and we work with over 400 staffing firms across the country. And we've seen success with every type of staffing firm utilizing and earning tax credits. The biggest misconception is a lot of staffing firms think that their employees are not going to qualify. They think that I
Hmm.
don't hire that type of employee, we're really not going to see a huge benefit from the tax incentive. Once a company tries it, they're actually very surprised to see how many of their employees qualify because some of the categories that qualify for WOTC would be the long-term unemployed, individuals receiving food stamps. So sometimes they might have a perfectly qualified employee or applicant that unfortunately they lost their job for a few months, and while they're in between jobs, they're applying for government assistance. Those individuals are looking for unemployment compensation. They might be getting food stamps on a
Hmm.
short-term basis while they find employment. So these are candidates that are oftentimes overlooked, that a company thinks that they're not going to qualify because their employees aren't eligible. But those are a couple examples of where a lot of these employees will qualify, would be the long-term unemployed and also food stamp recipients. One of the other things too, which a lot of companies don't realize, is that also a family member of their applicants can qualify for the tax credit. So what the government is trying to do is they're trying to raise the total household income for anyone that's working or that's been out of work. They want to raise their total household income so these individuals can become self-sufficient and get back into the workforce. So
Hmm.
oftentimes a staffing firm might hire an employee and their spouse, their parent, a sibling might be living in the household with them, and they would make that employee eligible for the tax credits. So then the employer would qualify for tax credits. So I would say that's probably the biggest misconception is that a lot of staffing
Hmm.
firms think that their employees are not going to qualify, but the program really applies to any type of skill set, any type of position can qualify.
Oh, that's great information. I didn't even know that. You can have a family member that qualifies, and then you'll be able to receive the WOTC. Is that correct?
Exactly. So in total, there's 10 categories on how an employee can qualify. Now, there's a couple categories specifically that allows family members to qualify. So a
Okay.
lot of times that might get overlooked.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's see, yeah, I'm learning. I'm so happy I had this call because I'm learning something right now. Um, I guess here's where I want to take it because a lot of people, a lot of staffing agencies that I speak with, they're looking for real life examples. Can you tell us, somebody that you've worked with where you've helped their agency unlock any hidden revenue?
Absolutely. So we were working with a staffing firm that they had the program in place, and I met them at one of the staffing conferences that we attended. And the staffing firm felt like they had the WOTC program already covered. They were working with another processing firm that was handling these applications for them, and they agreed to take a look at to take a look at the numbers and just to do a review with us, so that way we could take a look at their past few years of performance. The company was earning about $100,000 a year in tax credits, and I was a little surprised that they were earning 100,000 based upon the size of the company and the volume of hires that they were making. So the company gave us a chance to work with them. Within the first year, we tripled the amount of tax credits. The company went from 100,000 to over 300,000 a year in tax credits. What we
Oh, that's
found
amazing.
is that the company was collecting the WATC screening forms that were submitted, but a lot of the documents to verify eligibility were not being collected. That could be felony records, military records, case ID numbers. A lot of the
Hmm.
documents that are needed to prove that the employee qualifies were not getting collected. So a lot of applications came in, but they were not being converted to certificates. So the company was missing out on a lot of tax credits. When they switched over to us, we have a whole team that's dedicated to collecting these documents, like I mentioned, such as the felony records, military records, case ID
Hmm.
numbers. And with that alone, we were able to more than triple the amount of tax credits that this company was earning.
Oh, that's amazing. Those are numbers that any staffing agency would love to have and love to improve upon. That's great.
Absolutely. Yes.
Uh, I guess it's a perfect time to ask more about like the size of agencies that you work with. Is this only WOTC should be used for only larger firms? Can smaller firms use WOTC credits? Can they work with MJA?
Absolutely. We work with all size companies. So the larger the company is, the more employees they qualify, they're going to see a larger amount of tax credits. But even a small staffing firm even a small staffing firm can benefit from the WOTC program. Typically, about 15% of the workforce usually qualifies for the tax credits. Now, depending on the skill sets, depending on where they're located, there's a lot of variables that come into play. But I would say approximately 15% of the workforce qualifies for the WOTC program. So depending on the size of the company, even if they're a small company, it's a good idea to have the program in place because we all know it just takes one or two large accounts. If a staffing firm lands one of the two large accounts, the company can grow overnight. So the WOTC program, it is designed to create new jobs. So there are forms that need to be completed before the employee's first day of work. So it's always a great idea to have the program in place. So as the company develops and the company grows, at least they have a process in place so they can start collecting tax credits immediately once they land these new accounts. So we do work with all size companies, from startups to companies that have been in business for decades.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So staffing agencies, look at your workers, look at 15% of them and see are we collecting WOTC on 15% of them? If not, definitely give Marcel a call, right? Uh,
Exactly.
I guess normally when you're working with a new partner, there are some surprises that can occur, or are there any surprises that your clients find when working with you in the positive light?
Not at all, because the whole WOTC program is really simple. There's really two steps for us to launch a successful WOTC program. Number one is getting our WOTC screening form embedded or uploaded to their application, their ATS, or their onboarding process, so their new hires could complete the WOTC screening form. So that's half the battle, is just getting the form uploaded so their new hires could complete the screening. The second piece is collecting payroll data so that we could get hours, wages, new hire data to do all the tax credit calculations. We have the technology, we have APIs that we can pull payroll reports from various payroll providers. So that way the whole setup is completely automated. We can get the forms uploaded into their software, and then we can use APIs to pull the payroll data. So once we get those two steps completed, the whole process could be automated where it's 100% automated and the company doesn't have to worry about this.
Okay. I think something that, because we've spoken in the past, and something that caught me by surprise as well is when is the best time to start with WOTC? It's right off the start. Can you explain why that is?
Yeah, and the company can start at any time with the WOTC program, but we always recommend that you have the program right from the very beginning because once the employee starts working, you can start collecting tax credits. And the program, unfortunately, it does not apply to rehires.
Yeah.
So once a company hires an employee, we know in staffing they can work a short-term or a long-term assignment. Let's say they successfully complete a 1 month assignment and they try to place them again with a different client. That staffing firm cannot go back and claim tax credits once the employee has worked for them before. So that's why it's always a great idea to get the program set up right away because every new hire that you make going forward, you want to be able to collect those tax credits and not miss any potential credits.
I like that. I just wanted to make sure we talked about that because it's very important, right? So they don't place the candidate early on. They can set them up for WOTC and then they're able to collect the tax credit right from the start. So that's perfect.
Absolutely. And it's always a good idea to get the program started just because a lot of times they have other projects going on. There's a lot of these staffing firms where it's out of sight, out of mind. So, but it's a great
Mhm.
idea to have the program in place because, like I mentioned earlier, all it takes is one or two large accounts where they could have orders for hundreds of applicants. They want to make sure they have these forms and the process in place so they can
Mhm.
capture the tax credits for all new hires. Because once again, you can't go back and take these tax credits on any rehires.
Oh, no, that's great info. Marcel, I want to switch it up a little bit and I want to look more at marketing or the clients of the staffing firms. How can agencies use WOTC to appeal more to clients or differentiate themselves? Do you talk about that when speaking with your clients?
We do, and a lot of times WOTC comes into play when they're taking a look at their margins, when they're pricing their business and trying to get a new client. They know if they're earning thousands of dollars on the back end from the WOTC program, maybe they could price their business a little bit more competitively to try to
Mm,
close a big account. So it's usually going to benefit the staffing firm directly because it's going to increase their bottom line. But over the years, we've had several staffing clients that we work with that they're a referral partner for us. They'll introduce WOTC to a lot of their clients because, believe it or not, a lot of companies still don't know that WOTC is available and they don't know that WOTC exists. So a lot of our staffing clients will refer us to their clients. So, excuse me. So their staffing client, the clients of the staffing firm will look at them as a valued partner because they're introducing a program to them that they were not aware of. And once they see how much money they're saving from the WOTC program, they can save thousands of dollars. So we've had staffing clients in the past that they'll talk about WOTC to their clients. They'll make an intro call, or we'll do a webinar with them, or we'll answer any questions for any of their clients that have questions about the WOTC program. But I think it
mhm.
does give them a little bit more of a competitive advantage because they're not just filling orders; they're going to these clients as a trusted advisor, just recommending programs like this that makes sense for any type of business.
Be a trusted advisor and in knowledge of the industry. Also, if you're working with a client that's price conscious, you can talk about your WOTC that you have in place, system that you have in place, and how you can reduce that upfront cost if needed, right? So
Exactly.
that's very appealing. That's really appealing. I don't have a staffing firm, and it's appealing to me. So that's great. Uh, Okay. Now, when we're working with clients, is there any specific language that you use or phrasing to help agencies pitch to their clients?
There's no really specific language about the program. It's as simple as asking a company, have you ever heard of the Work Opportunity Tax Credit? Have you heard of WOTC? Because a lot of times these companies, they heard about the program and they don't know where to begin. They think
Hmm.
there's a lot of administrative work on the front end, so they don't even attempt to do the program. So if a company
Hmm.
comes in and first of all, they just ask if they're participating or if they're aware of WOTC. And if they're not, just recommending that there's a company that can help manage the entire process for them. So just giving them a point of contact or a referral source to help them with this program. But as far as specific language, it's just as simple as asking the company if they're participating in the WOTC program.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Uh, Marcel, I really want to make sure that I get your contact information out there. So, if someone wants to speak with you, what is the best steps for them to reach out to you?
The best way to reach out to us is either a phone call or through email. My email address is Marcel, Marcel, at mja-associates.com or a direct phone number. I'm also connected through LinkedIn and other social media channels. And we really specialize in staffing. We probably attend about 14 or 15 different staffing conferences throughout the year. So I hope to see a lot of these staffing companies out there at some of these upcoming conferences.
That's great. That's great. Oh, Marcel, thank you for your time. I'm going to be honest. So some of the top learnings I got from this was that about 15% of your staffing firm can qualify for WOTC approximately. When you're looking at WOTC, you can position yourself to be even more attractive to clients. And then also by using WOTC, there's significant savings that can be had for a staffing firm in increasing your revenue. Excuse me, increasing your revenue. So there's many reasons to reach out and not only take advantage of WOTC, but please give a call to Marcel, MJ Associates, and I know that they can do a bang up job. At Staff Up, we've been partnered with Marcel for years to help our customers, and we want to make sure that you can benefit for the same way that they are. Okay, great.